3 must-have movements. That's all it really takes to get better movement and start to become a more successful player. Being able to get kills, taking less damage, and really starting to be able to 1v2, 1v3, and 1v4. So today we're going to be talking about what those 3 basic must-have movements are, and then we're going to be breaking down this gameplay, really seeing how I use them to my advantage to drop over 20 kills in a Rebirth win. Now, when we talk about 3 basic movements, the first one, and probably the most important, is going to be strafing while shooting. This is simply moving left and right while shooting. And why this is actually so important is because if your enemy doesn't track you and you're moving left, they're going to start to hit shoulder shots, which is a lower damage area. These are ways that you start to win 50-50 situations simply by focusing on basic movement. So we're going to be paying attention to strafing. The second is going to be what I think is probably the biggest skill gap in Warzone, is going to be slide canceling. Now, why is slide canceling so important? It's not just because it looks fancy and it's something that you do to be sweaty. The reason it's so important is because it resets your tac sprint. You are fastest when using your tac sprint. When your gunna is up in the air and you're tac sprinting, that is when you are the fastest. Slide canceling resets that. It also makes us a harder target to hit for enemies and allows us to move around the map quicker, allows us to run away from enemies quicker, and allows us to finesse people. The last thing that I'll tell you, in the third most important movement, is going to be jumping. Now, with jumping, we kind of have 2 things. We have jumping while shooting, as well as jump peeking corners. So we're going to be paying attention to those 3 things today. Just quick recap: strafing, slide canceling, jumping while shooting, and jump peeking corners. And I kind of put 3 and 4 together because at the end of the day, it's just jumping. It's just the direction that you're jumping. So we're going to go ahead and push up here. And like I said, we're going to be paying attention to those 3 in this gameplay. I see one right here. So quick slide cancel, and sliding allows me to center my crosshairs. I get my crosshairs out, and then I actually jump a little bit right there to take a little bit less damage and avoid a few bullets, as well as open up that FOV. So if you watch it in slow motion here, the slide cancel allows me to get my crosshairs out. This is another reason why slide canceling is so important. Right there is the slide cancel. If I don't slide cancel here, I'm just going to keep sliding past this person or sliding closer to the door. I want to stop where I am to get my crosshairs out, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to center well. And watch the little jump right here to avoid some bullets. Jumping while shooting also, if you do it well, allows you to hit some higher damage areas because you're naturally going to be jumping towards that headshot. So we hit one right there. Again, watch the slide cancel around the corner here. As I turn this corner, we're going to slide cancel. There's the slide cancel so that my crosshairs are out. They're ready to go. They're centered. I think that's one of the biggest things I want you to take away from this video, is going to be slide canceling around corners. But go back to our 3 movements, right? It is one of those 3 movements. Strafing, slide canceling. We get one right there. Notice a little bit of strafe here, so I'm going to pull this back real quick and watch just how I'm moving as I am actually shooting. And real quick, as we're watching this, understand that on controller, strafing actually increases your aim assist. Moving left, right, back, some direction while you are shooting increases your aim assist. So we really want to be taking advantage of that, making sure that we are strafing. So we have 3 kills. We've got 12 other teams still alive here, one right around the corner. There you see the slide cancel again, and notice I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm not bunny hopping. I haven't really drop shotted at all, which we can talk about. Drop shot's kind of on that fringe where it's helpful, and it doesn't really take that much extra if your button layout's right, or if you're already slide canceling, all you have to do is hold that slide button and you drop shot. Now we get one that way, so let's go ahead and watch the slide cancel around the corner. There's the slide cancel. Watch the jump peek. Right, so there's the little bit of strafe, a little bit of jump peek, allows me to get that kill. And the whole goal with basic movement is to take less damage. We're fast forwarding to this point right here, is to take less damage. By taking less damage, it allows us to stay in fights longer, allows us to get some clean kills in there, and that's really the basis for starting to 1v2, 1v3, and 1v4. A lot of times you struggle because you take so much damage from the first player that the second player, shoots you and you're only a bullet, or you get one kill, you get the second one down, and the third one's there, and you're not playing fast enough. Slide canceling is also crucial for repositioning, and I want to be careful how much I'm throwing at you, but what I want you to understand is that it's really just 3 basic movements. It's strafing, it's slide canceling, and it's jumping. And by the way, slide cancel is just slide, slide, jump button. So we have sliding, we have jumping, and then we have slide, slide, jump. It's that simple. Now, as we turn this corner, we're gonna slide cancel there. We jump a little bit to jump backwards and open up that FOV. We're able to get that kill. We have 7 kills. We have 7 other teams still alive here. We are gonna actually farm this well. We're gonna go on a nice little run right here. We're going to get information up, which of course is definitely one of my key pillars. You see people right this way, not totally sure where exactly they're trying to go, but I noticed that they get out. We're going to end up pushing back this way right here. Trying to see what I can find. Not totally sure. See one up top. Kind of in a weird spot here. Don't have high ground. They've got a good angle on me. That's a really, really tough push. So I'm kind of in a position where I'm stuck. I don't really know where to push, but look at the mini map right here. Look at all the dots on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and push over this way. I mean, this is a pretty easy push right here, especially because there's people close. It gets a little bit tougher when you're pushing all the way to bio or all the way to chem, but I've got people that are right in this courtyard area right here. We get the down. Can't quite get the thirst through the tent, so I'm forced to go push, and as I turn this corner, I'm going to end up getting smoked. Now, we go ahead and stim. You don't need stims, although they definitely help. They definitely help you with the speed boost more than anything, but also the health regen. Now I'm going to go ahead and push up. I hear one right above me. He throws the Molotov, and now we're going to go ahead and challenge. And I want to slow this down preemptively because, again, watch the jump here. There's the jump, a little bit of strafe to the left. It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to strafe that much in order to avoid some bullets and take a little bit less damage. By the way, if you haven't seen my video on how to get better aim, movement, and awareness, I'm going to leave that down in the comments below for you. I think it's a really helpful video. Now, we end up dying right here as I'm dying because I get completely 3-stacked by this super sweat squad. If you are looking to get better at Rebirth, just consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'm a 4KD player. I do videos every single day. Like I said, my whole goal is to help you get better. So just consider hitting that subscribe button down below. And like I said, I post every day. I live stream on YouTube 4 days a week. So if you want to know when I'm posting and going live, make sure you turn on that notification bell. We're going to go ahead and push up here. A lot of loot in here. We're kind of reset already at this point. Only 9 kills. We really slowed down pace here. But we're going to pick it back up. Like I said, I think we dropped 23 this game. And I think that's one thing I want to highlight. One right here. We just hit shots with the Owen gun. The Owen gun feels great. One thing I do want to highlight is that you don't have to get off to the best start. Now, getting off to a good start really helps. But you don't have to get off to the best start if you are in a healthy lobby. This lobby is still very healthy. 6 teams, second circle. We're really in a good position to still drop high kills. So you kind of got to keep that pace a little bit. Keep that confidence. Don't get too discouraged that you've died and, you know, really be able to get back in. Once again, notice everybody on this other side. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves in the action. Now, this is a little bit of positioning. I don't want to go ahead and try to finesse everybody. Don't try to do too much with your movement. I talk about strategic aggressiveness, being in the action, being close to fights, putting yourself in situations to get kills. That doesn't mean you have to go full send and try to 1v4 get the Joe clip. You can be strategic with your positioning, start to understand where information is, and really use your movement to take less damage and play a little bit quicker, keeping your enemy guessing. We get it down right there. I try to pre-fire that because I thought he was actually in there, but he ends up not being. He ends up being up top. Right there, we're on 12 kills. And watch how fast this game starts to escalate. You start rolling off. You start getting a little bit of momentum here. We get the down. We're going to go ahead and challenge. Great example of why slide canceling is so important. Not quite here yet. I thought I was going to slide cancel across. I was trying to be a little bit cautious. But slide canceling also prevents you from being out in the open super long, right? In a situation like that where I have to cross out into the open, I could slide cancel. It allows me to get from one side where I have no cover to the other side where I have no cover, or I guess the other way. One side where I do have cover, then I'm rotating out in the open, and then I'm going back to cover. It allows me to get from point A to point B much quicker. Now, I know people are over this way. I actually know there's one ghosted from previous information. Trying to see what I can find right here. I get one up top. Now, this isn't really movement. This is just a little bit of execution. But I'm going to go ahead and challenge down below as I see the ghosted player. By the way, real quick, just think about this situation right here. So I get the down. I get the thirst, right? I've already cleared rooftop. I was just up there. There wasn't anybody up there. I've already cleared this level. So where is this person? I'm going to immediately go challenge here. And one thing I did want to highlight as we bring this back is this person doesn't shoot back, but this is a good example of strafing. Watch how I strafe left here. And it could be left or right. It could be a little bit of both. Notice how far right I'm getting, right? As I'm shooting, I'm moving right. And just in case he does shoot me, it makes me a harder target to hit. It also increases my aim assist on controller. So let's go ahead and keep pushing. We're going to end up pushing bio here in a second. Try to see what I can find. And I'm just going to play a little bit of positioning. I talked about strategic aggressiveness and my gameplay strategy a little bit. No need for me to try to push this and push in the gas to try to finesse and use movement to 1v3 a team. I'm just going to be smart here. I'm just going to play positioning. I end up challenging almost there, but I'm going to pull back and plate up. Why? Because they have to rotate directly to me. We've got 15 kills, by the way. As I told you, this game kind of heats up pretty quickly. We've got a lot of people still alive. I mean, this is a very healthy lobby. Watch me hit ladder here. This is expert movement right here. If you want to know about how to get better movement, watch this clip a few times. I rewound it once, but if you want to rewind it again, make sure you go ahead and do so. You know, it's just expert movement in terms of how to use ladders to your advantage. Now we're going to go ahead and push back here. I hear one up top, and I get caught, and I actually auto-mantle here, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's the one downside that I've noticed, I will say, to jumping while shooting, is because there are times where you will try to jump while shooting, like I was in that situation, and you end up auto-mantling. But I think the overall value of jumping while shooting is a little bit worth the risk of auto-mantling. We got 16. We got 4 other teams. We still got respawn disabled. Don't forget when you're farming teams that respawn is still, people are still respawning back in here. So you can play a little bit more patient and wait for people to respawn back in, letting the lobby get a little bit more healthy and capitalizing on those last few kills that you can get. We get one over here. We hit shots with the STG. Not enough though. And then we're going to go ahead and stim right there for the speed boost. Speed boost and a little bit of health regen right there. Not fully, but a little bit. Now I'm in a top spot here. I have no plates. And I will say that, you know, movement can help you finesse situations where you have no plates because you're going to be taking less damage. A lot of times in these nasty 1v3 clips where people like re-challenge, slide cancel, and ego challenge that last guy, they're able to use movement to their advantage to get that last kill even though they're low plates. Whether it's breaking a camera, whether it's using movement to take less damage, you're still in a really good spot. And now I don't have any plates still. Kind of playing a little bit more patient here, going back to my gameplay strategy. No need for me to go push everybody and think about, oh, let's go ego challenge because I have no plates. No, I'm in a bad spot, so I can play a little bit more patient, get this down right there, get that thirst right there. Where are teammates? Now, notice the teammates to the left here. Use that information to your advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and hold them. Again, holding them out of circle. They have 42 seconds to rotate to us, so we're just going to wait. We're just going to be patient here. I've got 19 kills. There's 2 plates, so it's at least a little bit of an advantage right there. And we're going to go ahead and just be patient here, especially endgame. You know, there's no need for me to rush this. TCAP's got power position up top. Copus has my back. We're in a really good position to get 1 down right there. We get the 2nd down right there. A little bit of strafe here, by the way, too. You can strafe at long range. Watch. It's very subtle. This is what I want to talk about. Strafing does not have to be much. Right there. Notice the strafe to the right. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be much to increase that aim assist and avoid a few bullets, and that allows me to get that kill. Am I still in a good spot to win that if I'm just sitting there? Of course. And if somebody's not shooting back at you, don't feel like you have to strafe. You can definitely just kind of post up. I don't want to say mount up. You could, of course, mount up, but you can just kind of be there and just focus on hitting shots as opposed to strafing left and right. But if you have an enemy that's potentially shooting back at you, I would highly recommend you start strafing. It's a great way to practice in bots, by the way, as well. Just focus on it when you're warming up and getting that warm up in that I mentioned the other day, and focus on a little bit of strafing. One up top here. We're going to challenge around the corner. We got 21 kills. We're in a good position. Challenge up top. And by the way, strategic aggressiveness, I thought for sure they were going to push right to me. I mean, we're challenging them from straight down hallway. We're in a really good position. I thought for sure they were going to end up pushing me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and challenge down below this way. Push all the way down, and I'm going to meet them. I'm going to actually try to hold them here. Watch what happens when I turn this corner. Yeah, let's not go ahead and challenge that and just keep running. Nope, I'm out. See ya. I burned my plates, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not challenging that. And you're going to see a little bit of movement here to my advantage as well. As I go ahead and push in, this is what I talked about, challenging enemies with low plates. You can still go ahead. I'm going to re-challenge this, get one up top. Now we get a little team shot. As I turn this corner here, oh, this is a great example of strafing. This is probably the best example we've had all game. Is watch how I strafe, well, slide cancel around the corner. Right there's the slide cancel. Look at my strafing right here. Look at how I'm just moving left and right, making me a little bit harder target to hit. And of course, being in a position to ultimately, we get the down, we get the thirst, to ultimately avoid and take a little bit less damage. We hit shots there with the Owen gun. There's the kill right there. And that is a 23 kill. I think it was 23. I don't know. I hope you found today's video helpful. Work on those 3 basic movements: strafing, slide canceling, jumping while shooting. Let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.